Apple didn't announce it. Leakers didn't leak it. But Samsung, Apple's biggest smartphone rival, might have just accidentally confirmed when the foldable iPhone is finally coming. And the answer is next year. That's right. After years of rumors, concepts, and wishful thinking, the foldable iPhone seems to be real and arriving in 2026, launching side by side with the iPhone 18. And the most surprising part? The confirmation didn't come from Cupertino. It came straight from Seoul. Here's what happened. Lee Kyung, the president of Samsung Display, the very division that makes the screens for many top-tier devices, including Apple's, recently met with reporters and revealed that they're producing foldable OLED panels for a major North American client. Now, that's basically code for Apple. And given the timing and the nature of the panels, it's almost certain they're destined for Apple's first ever foldable iPhone. So what does this mean? It means that the foldable iPhone is no longer just a rumor. It's a real product deep in development, with components being manufactured as we speak, and it's likely less than a year away. Now, you might be wondering, why does this matter? Well, Apple has always played the long game when it comes to new product categories. They weren't first to smartphones, they weren't first to smartwatches, and they're definitely not first to foldables. But when Apple does enter a new space, they tend to redefine it. And that's exactly what they're aiming to do here. According to multiple reports, Apple's foldable won't be treated as a side experiment or a separate category like Samsung's Galaxy Z series. Instead, it's expected to sit above even the iPhone 18 Pro Max, marketed as the ultimate iPhone, the one to get if you want the best Apple has to offer. That's a bold strategy. And it suggests Apple sees foldables not as a niche, but as the future of the iPhone lineup. Samsung, of course, is taking a different approach. Their next flagship foldable, the Galaxy Z Fold 8, is scheduled to launch months before Apple's model. That means Samsung will continue leading the foldable market in terms of both timing and probably technology, at least initially. In fact, leaks suggest Apple's first foldable might not even match the Galaxy Z Fold 7, a phone that's already out and has been praised as one of the best devices of the year. And with the Fold 8 on the horizon, Apple has some serious catching up to do. But that's not necessarily a bad thing for Apple, because this delay is very much by design. Apple reportedly held off entering the foldable market because it was chasing something ambitious, a completely invisible crease on the display. That's one of the biggest complaints users still have with foldables today, that visible line down the middle where the screen bends. Apple wanted to solve that before stepping in. But even if supply chain reports are accurate, even Apple has had to compromise on that goal, at least for now. That tells us two things. One, Apple is serious about the quality and user experience of its first foldable. And two, the company is willing to delay rather than rush a product to market just for the sake of being first, which, love it or hate it, is very on brand for them. There's also a bigger strategic play here. By launching their foldable alongside the iPhone 18 instead of as a standalone product, Apple is signaling that this isn't just a flashy concept, it's the next evolution of the iPhone. They want it to feel like a natural upgrade path, not a niche experiment. And positioning it above the Pro Max suggests it will likely come with premium pricing and premium features to match. Now, let's zoom out for a second. Samsung's role in all of this is fascinating. On one hand, they're Apple's biggest rival in the smartphone space. On the other, they're one of Apple's most important suppliers. The fact that Samsung Display is likely building the panels for Apple's foldable shows how deeply intertwined these two competitors are, even as they battle for dominance in the same market. And it's ironic that Samsung might be the one to inadvertently confirm the launch of the very device that will compete with its Galaxy Z Fold lineup. At the end of the day, this is shaping up to be one of the most exciting showdowns in smartphone history. Samsung has spent years refining their foldables and setting the standard with the Galaxy Z Fold series. Apple, meanwhile, has been watching, waiting, and perfecting, ready to enter the arena with something that could change the conversation. Will Apple's first foldable immediately outshine Samsung's offerings? Probably not. Will it sell millions and potentially redefine what people expect from a foldable phone? Almost certainly yes. Because when Apple steps into a market, even late, it brings with it a massive wave of attention, developer support, and ecosystem integration that few others can match. So after years of speculation, leaks, and concept renders, the foldable iPhone is no longer a maybe. Thanks to Samsung's little slip, we now know it's real, and it's coming in 2026. The question now is simple. When that day arrives, will Apple redefine the foldable space once again? Or will Samsung's head start keep it ahead of the curve? Either way, the next year in smartphones just got a whole lot more interesting. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.